Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to talk about how we can create and publish a web application in .NET Core straight to Azure. So I'm here in my Visual Studio 2019 and I'm going to, well, first of all, let me just change the theme to dark theme because I just prefer the dark theme. It's just comfortable for my eyes. So now, yep, that's better. It's not too bright for your eyes. Alright, so having said that, let me click on new and project, and I am presented with a dialog box with various options, and what we are after is ASP.NET Core web application. So we're going to be creating an application from scratch. So I'm going to leave all the drop down values as is and hit next, and here we are presented with a dialog box where we can specify the project name and the solution name. So let me just say web app core 5 because we are going to be creating a web application in .NET Core 5 version 5. So I'll just name the project name as that and hit next. And the target framework is .NET 5, and so it is telling me, the other ones are out of scope. This one is having long-term support, 3.1 is having long-term support, and the one that I have currently installed on my system is .NET 5.0. So that one is selected for us. I'm going to leave everything as is and click on the create button. And what it's going to do is going to go ahead and set up the project for me. If I click on the Solution Explorer, and it has created the necessary files and it's pretty much ready to go. So this is like the boilerplate code. So there's the starter file, the programs. So the purpose of this video is not to go through all this, but just to see how we can publish the web app in .NET Core 5 to Azure. So if I just click on the start button, and let's see what the web app out of the box looks like. So it's going to go ahead and build it. As you can see, it is building it on the bottom. So if I bring that window in here, so that you can see what it is doing behind the scenes, and looks like it has come back. So if I've got this dark reader here as well. Let me disable the dark reader so that you can see what the application looks like. So that's the name of our project, web app core 5, and this is running on the local host. That is the port number, and looks like our application is all looking good. So we can now deploy this from my local host to Azure. So let's see how we can do that. So let me go back to my Visual Studio, click on the stop button, and I can either right click the project and click on publish, or I can come to the publish in my overview page and click on add. So if I cancel out of that, click on add a publish profile, it will bring this dialog box. So I can choose the first option that says publish your application to Microsoft Cloud. Yes, we are interested in that. So I'm going to leave that selected and hit next. And I'm going to say, yep, I'll leave the option as Windows. There's the target platform. And now I have already signed into my Azure account, and it's giving me the default subscription. Right now I don't have any service instances. So let me click on the plus button so that we can set up or create our application. So I can so that's the name of our application that will be created in Azure right from within Visual Studio. So I'm going to say web app core, let's say call it web app core 5, and subscription is just that, and the resource group, it has generated the resource group name for us, but I would like to create a new one and have a proper resource group. So I'll just say you can either have resource group prefix just call it resource group dash DIT videos, hit OK. And hosting plan, I can just leave that as is. And with pretty much everything as is, I can click on the create button and let's see what it does. It's going to go ahead and create the app service for us in Azure under this profile, and that's the subscription name, and it will create this application inside of this resource group, that is the RG-DIT videos, and we have selected the default hosting plan. We'll give it some time while it creates the app service for us. It has created the app service, and there's the app service instance, and this is now sitting under the resource group RG-DIT videos, and that's our web app. Alright, so I'm going to hit finish, and now our application has been created, and there's the URL of the site. So I can click on this and see where it takes me to. So that is, so if I disable the dark reader, so that is our web application. So our application is up and running, right? Our application is up and running, but as you can see, it is nothing has been deployed to our application yet. So as you can see, our application is all good to go. It has been set up in Azure. So if I go to my Azure portal, right, and there's the resource group that we just created, and these are the resources inside of this resource group. And if I click on the application, or the app service rather, if I bring this to a full view, and that's the URL, and there's the URL that we saw in here, right? There's the URL, and when I click on this, it will just take me to a page. It will just take me to this. It says the app service is up and running, but nothing is deployed to the app service just yet. So it's time to deploy something. So let me go back to Visual Studio, and as you can see, there would be a publish button here up at the top. So that's the publish button. So let's publish the content that we have in our solution to Azure. So let me click on publish, and it says it's starting the build, and it's going to publish our application in Azure. So it says publish is started, as you can see at the bottom left, and it says, as you can see in the status, it says publishing to Azure app service. So things are looking good so far. Alright, looks like it's done. Publish 1 succeeded. Now it's doing some installation of the necessary site extensions, and now it's restarting the web app. So you get the full log of what's happening in the output window. Alright, and now it is loading the page for me, and it should have some data for us showing this time. Alright, now we get that web app code. It is now showing me the web application. So it is not only up and running. So this is, if I go back to the previous tab that I had opened from before, so it says the application is up and running, and after we published it, same URL, now we have this data showing up. So that's how we create a brand new project in Visual Studio, brand new project in .NET Core 5, and we saw how we can create the web application, how we can create the web app in Azure right from Visual Studio, and how we can publish the solution to Azure. If this video was helpful, hit that like button. Thank you for watching. And just before you go, if this video has helped you in any way, shape or form, give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button.